Me. Now, hi, and welcome to the Women's Health YouTube channel. I'm Lucy Townsley, and I'm an expert in women's health, so helping women who are having trouble having a baby. I hate the word infertility because I think it has very negative connotations. So we are on the way, our journey to having a baby through pregnancy, and then through the next stage of your life, menopause and perimenopause. And today I'm joined by the sleep success coach, Johann Callaghan. She's an amazing lady, and she's written a book called How to Get a Good Night's Sleep. So I'm gonna let her give you all the best information and tips on how to improve your health with sleeping. So hi Johann, lovely to have you here.
Hi Lucy, great. Thanks for having me along, and fair play and well done on your podcast. It's really great to get this information out there and share it with people. That's what this is all about, helping to empower people. So I love empowering people because my background, people ask me, how did I get into sleep and health, and why am I so passionate about this? Because obviously there's always a story behind it. And I came from the world of programming, would you believe? I used to do a lot of computer programming in my day, and I was very good at it, all self-taught, self-learned and all this. And but through my journey, I lost a baby along the way in 2007. Actually, it's her anniversary today, would you believe? Yeah. But there's a lot of learning though that I got from it. It was devastating at the time, of course, and your children are not supposed to go before you. But what I got, Lucy, from the whole thing, and it was, this went on for a good few years, was I met a spiritual lady, and I went through a lot of trauma and grief and other stuff even before that was layered on top of losing my baby Megan. So I was in depression, all this kind of thing, and then I wasn't eating, and so it was affecting my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, everything. And I met a spiritual lady, and I was with her for a number of weeks, and she taught me, Lucy, how to love myself again. She taught me, because I was very critical of myself. I was giving out about everybody, and I was very jealous, lots of judgments. But she showed me why judging other people, comparing ourselves to other people, why this is so bad for us. And I got to learn so much. But the bottom line, Lucy, is what I got to see was how powerful we all are as individuals, that each and every one of us has a lot of power within us to create whatever is possible, any possibility. And this also includes our health and our well-being, our mental health, physical health. And this is really quite significant, because for many people, we just give up. We don't have any hope. We give our power over to other authorities, where we actually know our bodies better than other people if we just listen to our bodies. And then where sleep came into this, my mentor, Pat Slattery, at the time, I was doing massage, holistic therapies, Reiki, healing, all this kind of holistic therapies I was doing at the time. And he said to me, you got to write a book, Johann, because it will really leverage your business, and it will put you up there as an authority. People will listen to you. It will make you more credible. So I was like, what am I going to write about? And a lot of people, my massage clients, were having problems with energy. They'd no energy. They were exhausted. They were falling asleep come lunchtime. They'd no energy to play with their kids, and this really upset them. And they couldn't think straight. They couldn't make decisions. Everything was just so confusing. So I said, oh my God, people are not sleeping well. So I wrote the book on sleep. And it was only when I wrote that book on sleep, some of the research that I did a lot of research, a lot of scientific evidence to back up what I was claiming, what I was saying. And by the end of the book, when I published the book, I realized, wow, sleep is such an important part of our lifestyle. And a lot of people wouldn't really consider this as vital. And we actually cannot survive without sleep. We can go on record, it's 11 days. Now, most people could probably only do two full days, maybe 3 max. But everything starts to break down in the body. We can't function. We become delusional and psychotic. And scientists don't know why it has this extreme effect. In fact, sleep has really only been studied in depth in the last 15, 20 years. So they're still uncovering a lot about sleep and why we absolutely need it for our brain health, for our physical health, but also our emotional health, which is really important. A lot of people are suffering from anxiety, depression, but also our spiritual health, believe it or not. And our spiritual health is not something woo-woo. Our spiritual health is how we perceive the world, how we view the world, how we're feeling in this current environment, and what our purpose is in life, you know, what it is we enjoy doing, where we feel fulfilled in life. This is all part of our spiritual health, and we absolutely need this because it's our drive forward. So sleep is fundamental for our health, and I decided I want people to know and learn about the importance of sleep. So my mission is to create an awareness of how important sleep is, and for people to value their sleep again, because it's only when you value something that you're going to take priority, you're going to prioritize it. Many human beings deliberately deprive themselves of sleep.
Why do you think they do that? Why do we deprive ourselves from sleep?
It's such a great question. It really is and mammals, or human beings, are the only mammals who deliberately deprive ourselves of sleep, right? You see a cat or a dog, if they're tired, they listen to their body. They will go over in the corner, they'll go to the bed and they'll go to sleep, right? They'll go and have a nap or whatever. But for us, no, we have to get as much as we can done in the day. We seem to be living in this world of lack. We don't have enough, right? So we have to work and earn more money. And there doesn't seem to be enough time in the day. Many people, including me, and I'm sure you have as well, Lucy, have said at the end of the day, where did that day go? I've been so busy all day, but I've got nothing done, right? Going around in a busy mess, as Pat Slattery would say.
Yes, he would say, and a lot of people, and they feel very dejected at the end of the day because they feel they've achieved nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see, what's happening, Lucy, is we feel that we have to, there's a lot of comparisons going on with other people as well. And there's a feel that we have to, and like a need that we have to, and there's resistance in that if you think about it, and anything that has resistance in it is going to take up a lot of your energy. But there's a lot of, oh, I have to earn more money, or I have to do this or do that. And there's not an easy flow or a sense of freedom or a sense of peace. That sense of peace is not with a lot of people. And that's causing anxiety and stress in itself. And I think this is the biggest problem, Lucy, when it comes to people sleeping well at night, because we're going round in this grind like a hamster wheel. We're just going. We don't stop. We work 9 to 5 o'clock. Some people want to work their lunch break so they can earn more money. I know in my day when I was working as a PAYE worker, and a lot of people wanted to work during the lunch so they could earn more money, but they weren't respecting their body. They weren't giving their body rest. They just wanted to go. Now, we were never designed. If you think back in the hunter-gatherer days, we would hunt or whatever. We'd go out and hunt, but we take lots of breaks. We take lots of rest in between, and we'd go to bed as soon as the sun went down. We'd go to bed, and we literally, this was how we've evolved. This was our part of our cycle, our rhythm of life. But nowadays, we're just on the go all day long, and then come the evening time, we don't even do a wind down. We can't wind down properly because we're so hyped up. The adrenaline is still going, the cortisol is still going. These are our stress hormones, and we need to wind down. And there's certain processes in the body, chemical processes. Our core body temperature has to cool down, like it has to, for the onset of sleep and for the release of these hormones that we need for sleep. And if people understand this, they will appreciate it, and they'll give their body that space that it needs to help them wind down. We'll rest more during the daytime as well. This is really important. And when I say rest, I don't mean yes, I'm a fan of naps, but it doesn't mean napping. It could be go for a leisurely walk. It could be sit down, have a cup of tea. It could be read a book, meditate, yoga, whatever you like to do for a bit of fun or rest. And that's the problem, Lucy. We're just way too busy, and we're not giving ourselves enough rest.
I love the idea of doing strategic resting. I would often recommend that to my patients because I have a few that wouldn't like to, that would be horror on their faces if I tell them to take it easy and put their feet up for 10 minutes. But if they are reading a book or watching the television or doing something at the same time as resting their body, it seems more acceptable. So we go into it as slowly, a much slower way, and then build it up to resting. And it's crazy that you have to retrain people into thinking that resting is okay, that it's a good thing to do in their life.
There's a stigma out there, if you're seen to be resting, you're lazy. You're really lazy, you're not productive, you're not getting up there and working, you're slacking off, all of these terms, right? But we have to give ourselves permission to rest. We owe that to ourselves. We need to honor our bodies, and take a rest. It could be 5 minutes. It could be take a big long break, an hour break, whatever you need. Because we do need, even, for the student, right? Or if you're doing courses, a lot of people do online courses. We have to give our brain a break. When we talk about learning and memory, we have to give our brain a break to be able to embed that information to make it stick. Whereas if we're on the go and we're constantly learning and we're grinding and cramming, we don't seem to make that information stick. And then the sleeping at nighttime is really important. This is another process as well when it comes to memory and learning. There's another thing that goes on with the memory being consolidated, where it goes into long-term memory. So this is really important. So this is why for the students, it's really important not to stay up all night cramming. You're doing yourself an injustice, because you do your papers the next day and you'll have a blank. I've experienced that when I was young doing exams, and even as an adult, I do exams. I'm always learning stuff, but I'm not doing so much of the exams these days. But you can get a blank because you can't recall the information. So.
Yeah. That happened. That I can link that. So I would come from a Chinese medicine training background. I'm trained as an acupuncturist as well, but it would come down what they in Chinese medicine is called spleen energy. It's your thinking power, and if you overuse it, you deplete your energy, your spleen energy. So it's the same. And then if you have depleted spleen energy, you don't sleep well, because you need energy to sleep. That would be a big factor as well with sleep.
Yes, you do need energy. And actually, a lot of people think you can actually, people who suffer with burnout and exhaustion, you would think that these people can, if they're tired, then great, because a lot of people deliberately make themselves tired. They'll go, and I had one client who did like mad runs in the evening time, literally right before bed, on purpose to exhaust themselves. But they done themselves an injustice again, because they were wired and tired. So they had all the adrenaline and the cortisol running around in the body, and the core body temperature was heated up. So that they were not the right conditions for a person to sleep. But when we talk about burnout and all that, which is a whole other topic, we do need a certain amount of energy to sleep, because there are various different stages during the night where the brain is actually more active than it is during the daytime, because there's a lot of processing going on in the brain, a lot of clearing out the brain toxins, all the REM sleep. Actually, the brain waves are quite similar when we're in REM sleep stage, than if we're in like right now. Our brain waves right now, just sitting here talking, having a conversation, would be quite similar to REM sleep. So, but our brain is quite active at nighttime, and yes, we need energy at nighttime.
Yeah, to sleep. I noticed that myself. I know that if I'm working late in the evening, which I sometimes do, I find it harder to go to sleep, because my body is like going. Whereas if I've come in and had an evening routine where I've relaxed, maybe watched a bit of TV, read my book for a bit, I fall asleep way quicker than if I had been.
Have you ever had those hypnotic jerks where your leg just goes and you wake yourself up with a fright?
Yes. Yeah.
That happens when you're really when you're really your body has fallen asleep really, really quickly. So it's not that natural slow down, that natural process. It's like you're going into that sleep really, really quick, and the hypnotic jerks, that's when they happen. It's really frightening when it happens.
It can be. It hasn't happened very often now, but it would happen with my partner a lot. You could feel him in bed beside you and he'd be jumping all over the place.
Yeah. Especially people who suffer with a lot of anxiety, or if they're sleep deprived, they might be more prone to having one of those hypnotic jerks at nighttime before they go to sleep. Yeah.
So tell me, what would be your top tip for getting a good night's sleep?
There's loads. Okay, so depends on the individual, but look, our rhythms are really important, right? Our rhythms are so important. We need to get back into rhythm. We are so disconnected from nature. We're indoors quite an awful lot. We were never designed. We did not evolve living inside in an insulated house. We need to have clean, fresh air every single day. We need daylight. I sometimes say sunshine. People say, I live in Ireland, we don't get sunshine. So daylight, daylight. We need daylight because for many reasons, daylight helps to knock off the melatonin. So literally resets your circadian rhythm. So we need daylight first thing in the morning. And if you can do 15 minutes, you know what, even just open up your curtains, open up your blinds first thing in the morning, because it switches off. Some people take a long time to wake up in the morning. So sunshine will help with that. Getting up at the same time every day and going to bed at the same time every day, in and around, even on the weekends, because a lot of people seem to have a schedule Monday to Friday, and then it's different at the weekends, especially if you're a mother and you have school kids or whatever. But it's really important to have that same routine. That's why Monday mornings, a lot of people are late into work, or a lot of kids would miss school on a Monday morning or whatever, because the rhythms are off. It's harder to get up on a Monday. It's because your biological clock has shifted. So going to bed, getting up at the same time, really important to help you keep in sync with your rhythms. And you will find you will not need an alarm clock after a while if you religiously do this.
I'm just going to jump in there and just say, maybe that's why I am always a good sleeper, because of the weekends we do competitions, me and my children, and inevitably we have to get up actually earlier the weekends than we would during the school time. Yeah, so sometimes we have to get up at like 5 in the morning because you have to be there for 8, and it could be a couple of hour journey. So that's really interesting.
You go horse riding, is it?
Yeah, we do show jumping competitions, and
yes.
Sometimes the classes are on at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So you need to be there around 7 to give yourself time to get there, get ready, organized. So yeah, that's interesting that the weekends. Wow. So it's never been an issue for us because we're up early. So it's just very interesting.
You get up earlier on a Saturday and a Sunday than you would during the week. Wow, that's a first now. I never heard that. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. But yeah, and look, even earlier, okay, is better than getting up later, because your whole rhythm is just going to shift. Earlier is okay. It's okay, I suppose, getting up earlier because you're closer to the sunrise, and I suppose. I suppose in the winter time though, it's pitch black though when you're getting up early in the morning. But we do alter as well. People say to me, about going to bed at certain times. We do alter with the seasons. So summer, we tend to not sleep as much during the summer as we would during the winter time. We sleep more during the winter time. It's darker for longer, and we sink into this rhythm. So again, this is back to the rhythms of nature. So that's really important. I'm just going to plug my laptop in. It's going dead. I just see my screen going. So
okay,
bear with me 1 second. I have it here. The joys of live interviewing. But yeah, that's really important. Another thing that I would say as well is your eating. So don't eat too late before you go to bed, because again, we were never designed to eat late at nighttime, and we only ate when we had daylight. We didn't eat at nighttime, if you think about it. And this is how we've evolved. So our digestion has to take a break. So that's your eating.
Great advice.
Yeah. And then the blue light is another thing. So blue light we get blue light from our daytime light, and we need that, right, to have us be alert and focused. So we need that. But here's the problem. There's a lot of artificial blue light that we're still using in the evening time, like our mobile devices, screens, whatever. And there is software that we can get, Flux, if you're using a laptop, f.lux, just look it up, Flux. You can put that on your laptop and it takes out the blue tone. But ideally, there's other reasons why we shouldn't be on electronics late at night. It stimulates the brain, and it keeps us addicted. And Facebook and all this kind of stuff actually keeps us addicted. So
those platforms are kind of designed to keep us on them. They're very clever designers behind them, and they're designed to keep us. So like Netflix, I often find this: if you get into a series on Netflix or something, it's into the next one before you even have a chance to press end. It's really they're designed to keep us there, and then the next thing it's 1 o'clock in the nighttime.
But that's the aim, to keep us on as long as possible, because that's where they'll make their money.
Exactly.
They want to keep the usage and demand. But be really aware of that. And you see, but it's doing this chemical thing with dopamine in our brain, and that's what keeps us addicted. Now, dopamine is an excitatory neuron. So, and we want to relax. We want our brain waves to slow down. So there's a lot, you could delve into that on a deeper level, but that's really, if people are just aware of that. So we want to really calm down, do something in the last hour or two before bed that's relaxing, that's quiet, like quiet time, to allow the onset of sleep naturally. So that's really, really important. So there's
some great advice, Johann. Some really great tips for people to follow through, and even think about getting your book, How to Get a Good Night's Sleep, would be hugely beneficial. Even just the tips that that you've given us in the book as well would be massive.
And the book is fantastic. Like, it's research based. I go into essential oils. I'm a professional aromatherapist as well, so I go into what essential oils you can use as well at nighttime. Great thing you can do for children as well. Children. And I love children to pick out their own oils. Lavender and chamomile are two of the safest, I suppose, for children. To give children a little bit of their own power, to give them choice. I love the whole child psychology thing. Now, I'm not a child psychologist myself, but I'm learning quite a lot, and it's really important that parents do walk the talk, they behave in a way, and they practice all these things that I've said, because your children will learn from you, not what you tell them necessarily, because their brains are not wired that way. So a really important message to any parents is to really walk the talk and be how you want your children to be.
That's very true. That's great. So what I'll do is I'll share the link with your book, and if anyone's interested in joining my menopause program, I will share that link as well. And thank you very much for listening, and thank you so much, Johann. It's been a real pleasure having you.
Thanks, Lucy.
Got to say to make sure you give it a like, the YouTube channel, and subscribe to your channel. Subscribe to my channel. I always forget to put that in at the end. So definitely subscribe, and we'll be getting some more great information, and maybe have Johanna, and again we can look at different health things that we can help with.
You can talk about sleep in so many different areas, and even menopause. Maybe we'll do menopause again another day. And just before we go, anybody who does get the book, there's a free audio. You do get a free audio with this book as well when you buy. So on howtogetagoodnightsleep.com, but I'll give you that link in any case.
Perfect.
All right, thanks a million, Lucy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.